Before we cross into the unknown, leave a hello in the comments. Even the smallest signal can ripple across galaxies, guiding fellow wanderers to this tale. Let me know you're out there. A voice among the stars, listening with me beyond the veil. Engines roared as the Argonaut tore through the void, a silver spear against the black. Admiral Kael's voice echoed over the bridge comms, calm yet edged with steel. Prepare for breach protocol. The starfield outside rippled, warning of Cernari orbital defenses. Every sensor ping spoke of death, yet humanity moved forward where others had fled. The bioweapon had crippled the Cernari, and Earth had answered, because no one else would. Kael's hand hovered over the command console. "We don't run from what others fear," he murmured, a mantra for the fleet, a promise to those waiting on the ground below. The first impact shook the hull. Energy shields flared in violet arcs. Engineers shouted over alarms as the vessel's AI relayed damage in milliseconds. Yet the humans did not falter. Medical units were already preparing inoculations for ground teams, their synthetic syringes bristling with nanotech solutions. Outside, the once proud cities of the Cernari burned under orbital bombardment. Yet below, life still clung to survival. Kael's eyes scanned the holographic map. Zones of infection, collapse, hope. And in the chaos, a single truth remained. Humanity does not abandon the dying. Commander Rynn crouched behind a collapsed Cernari transport scanning the ruins. "Bioweapon residue detected," the AI whispered, its voice metallic, unemotional. Rynn's hand rested on her rifle, but her mind raced through formulas and antidotes. These ruins were silent witnesses to betrayal. The Cernari's own creators had turned against them. Yet here she was, human boots pressing into toxic soil, reversing what should have been an unstoppable plague. A flash of movement, a Cernari child coughing, eyes wide with fear. Rynn's medic kit was already open. "You're safe," she whispered, a human promise in a dying world. Back at the fleet, sensors tracked anomalies in orbit. Drones, unregistered transmissions, and unexplained energy pulses. Engineers argued over containment protocols. Kael's voice cut through. "We don't guess, we calculate. Every threat has a solution." Cryptic messages from surviving Cernari hinted at the creators' locations, yet their language twisted with fear and warning. Humanity's specialists decoded fragments faster than any AI. Every puzzle solved saved lives. Every calculation risked death. Still, no one on Earth hesitated. The fleet had arrived, not as saviors, but as an unstoppable force. Space erupted in orange streaks. Missiles and plasma rounds carved through the void as the Argonaut led a squadron into the war-torn system. Kael's jaw clenched, eyes flicking over targeting readouts. Engage, defensive matrix. Focus fire on high-yield clusters. Human pilots weaved with precision impossible for AI alone. Ships moved like living predators, engines trailing cobalt fire, shields flaring at every strike. Somewhere below, Cernari survivors watched from the shadows, disbelief and awe mirrored in their luminous eyes. Amid the chaos, a human engineer patched a ruptured power conduit mid-flight. Sparks danced, yet her hands were steady, trained for moments like this. Sensors revealed a hidden bioweapon lab, smoldering but intact. Kael's directive was clear. Ground teams must neutralize it. He tapped a sequence into the comms. "Deploy squads Delta through Zeta. Prioritize containment." The fleet obeyed like an extension of his will, weaving through debris and enemy fire. Humanity didn't just fight, it calculated, healed, and conquered in the same breath. Rynn's squad advanced into the lab's remains. Shadows twisted in flickering light. Equipment hummed, recording echoes of destruction. "This was intentional," Rynn said, touching a console still warm with residual energy. The bioweapon's design was meticulous, almost artistic in its cruelty. A ghostly hologram flared to life, Cernari engineers pleading for aid. Rynn swallowed. They weren't evil. They were betrayed. The team moved carefully, scanning for traps while medics prepared nanotech inoculations to save the few surviving Cernari. Above, Kael monitored every feed. Drones streamed visuals from multiple angles. "Every action has a reaction," he murmured, fingers tracing star charts. Unknown energy signatures rippled across the system, possible remnants of the Creator's fleet. He considered countermeasures, anticipating the next betrayal. Humanity had arrived in this sector as the final variable, an unpredictable force the galaxy had underestimated. Every calculation, every decision, every human heartbeat became the difference between collapse and salvation. The first survivors were lifted aboard the Argonaut. Cernari children clung to human medics, their luminous eyes wide with disbelief. "Why are you helping us?" one whispered. Kael knelt, placing a hand on the child's shoulder. "Because no one else would," he said simply. Outside, the world burned, but for the first time in cycles, hope flickered. Humanity did not arrive with halos or songs. It arrived with hands, minds, and courage. In the fleet, reports poured in. Infected zones stabilized, rogue labs neutralized, and survivors guided to safe zones. Kael's log entry was brief, yet potent. Earth does not abandon. Earth does not negotiate with death. Earth fights. As stars streaked past the fleet in faster-than-light jumps, the truth spread through the galaxy. The Cernari sang of angels, but Kael allowed himself a quiet smile. Angels had nothing on humans. In the distance, as the fleet approached a system scarred by orbital bombardments, Commander Rynn surveyed the holographic projections. Settlements reduced to skeletal frameworks, energy grids flickering like dying stars. "Scan for survivors. Prioritize life signs," she ordered. Nanodrones swarmed over ruins, sending streams of data back to the fleet. Every reading was a mix of hope and horror. Humanity's arrival was the first light in centuries of darkness. Kael leaned over the main console. "The Creator's traces are faint, but they exist." Energy pulses indicated cloaked vessels lurking at the system's edge. He tapped a sequence. Tactical screens exploded with plots of potential encounters. Engineers whispered about shielding upgrades mid-flight. "No hesitation," Kael reminded them. "Every second counts. Every decision saves lives." Above, the fleet shimmered like a metallic constellation, ready to strike, defend, and heal, all in one synchronized motion. On the ground, Rynn's squad traced remnants of the bioweapon to an underground lab. Data terminals flickered with encrypted files. "This isn't just a plague, it's adaptive," Rynn said, scanning amino signatures. Medic specialists prepared nanoserums tailored to each mutation. Cernari engineers whispered in broken syntax about Creator's betrayals, their guilt echoing through the empty corridors. Humanity listened, calculated, and acted. The cure was in their hands, the threat in their sights. Kael's bridge sensors picked up irregular FTL signatures. "Multiple jumps, too fast for known tech," the AI reported. "Unidentified fleet approaching." Kael's lips pressed tight. "Prepare intercept protocols. Deploy reconnaissance drones immediately." Each human officer moved with precision born of training, experience, and instinct. The galaxy underestimated humans. Yet here they were, standing against invisible threats and decoding mysteries that should have killed them. Communications scrambled with encrypted distress signals from a nearby colony. Rynn's team moved through fractured corridors following spectral transmissions. "These signals, they're older than we expected," she murmured. Holographic images of Cernari citizens flickered across the walls, frozen in moments of terror. Medics worked tirelessly, administering cures as nanotech injected itself into veins, healing in minutes what would have been death in hours. Kael monitored the fleet's perimeter. Sensors picked up hidden energy pockets. ambushes waiting in dark orbit. "Activate stealth countermeasures," he commanded. Pilots adjusted vectors mid-jump, weaving between debris and invisible threats. Every human movement was a blend of art and science, instinct and calculation. Humanity's touch wasn't subtle, it was unstoppable, as squadrons deployed into enemy territory. Missiles streaked past asteroid fields, shields flaring against plasma streams. Kael's voice resonated through comms. "Focus on containment, not destruction. Minimize civilian risk." Pilots responded with seamless coordination, weaving through debris with deadly elegance. The Creator's forces underestimated humans, and every miscalculation became their downfall. Rynn's squad infiltrated a high-security facility, bypassing automated defenses. Every lock, every turret, every encrypted data stream fell to their combined skills. Cernari survivors followed cautiously, hope and fear etched in luminous faces. Humanity didn't just fight battles, they rewrote outcomes, rewriting fate itself. Kael's holographic map filled with green indicators, survivors secured, threats neutralized, and the first step toward rebuilding completed. The dust settled over shattered cities. Cernari families emerged from hiding, eyes reflecting awe and disbelief. Rynn knelt beside a child, adjusting a nanotech inoculation. "You're safe now," she whispered. Silence carried the weight of survival. Humanity had arrived where no one else dared, and in doing so, became legend. Kael's log captured the truth succinctly. "We did not come as angels. We came as humans. We fight, we heal, we endure." Outside, stars streamed past the fleet's hull as it prepared to jump into the next system, chasing threats, saving lives, and leaving hope in its wake. The galaxy had begun to remember Earth, not as conquerors but as guardians. The fleet glided into a system shrouded in nebular haze. Sensors picked up faint energy readings, ghost signals from long-abandoned colonies. "No life signs," the AI reported, but Kael's instincts prickled. He had learned the galaxy speaks in whispers, and humans had learned to listen. Recon drones launched, weaving through clouds of ionized gas, illuminating shadows that hid secrets older than any recorded history. Rynn's ground team examined a ruined research station. Walls bore scorch marks from previous battles, but deeper analysis revealed something sinister. Partially completed weapons, left to rot, yet still active. "The Creators didn't just flee. They planned this," Rynn murmured. "Medics prepared antidotes for lingering bioweapon traces. Humanity's intervention was a race against time, against a silent enemy no one else dared confront." Kael stared at the holographic map. Clusters of ships appeared, barely visible, moving with precision. The Creators had returned. "They've been waiting," he said. Engineers updated shield frequencies, pilots recalculated attack vectors, and weapons officers synchronized plasma turrets. Every move was preemptive, every calculation critical. Humanity would not be caught unprepared. Rynn's team discovered data cores encrypted with multi-layered algorithms. "These logs, they're a confession," she said, scrolling through holographic projections. The Creators had betrayed not just the Cernari, they had gambled on universal collapse. Rynn relayed the information to Kael. His jaw tightened. Humanity had entered a war of secrets and shadows, and now the truth was a weapon in its own right. Sensors flared with movement, hundreds of ships emerging from cloaked positions. Kael activated intercept protocols. "All units, defensive formation Delta. No stray maneuvers." Plasma streaked, and human pilots wove through volleys with near-precognitive precision. Every shot was calculated, every evasion seamless. Humanity's technology didn't just match the Creators, it redefined engagement itself. Rynn's team, orbiting in a drop pod, witnessed the scale of the hidden fleet. Bioweapon labs, cloaked supply ships, and heavily armed warships floated like predators in the void. "We're the anomaly they didn't account for," Rynn whispered. Medics and engineers on board adjusted equipment, prepared antidotes, and synchronized communication with the fleet. Humanity was not just fighting, it was turning the tables on an enemy centuries ahead. The Argonaut led the charge toward a system collapsing under unstable energy cores. Kael's eyes scanned tactical readouts, civilian sectors intertwined with enemy fortifications. "Minimize casualties, maximize pressure," he ordered. Human pilots sliced through plasma fields, targeting generators and energy conduits while shielding colonies from collateral damage. Rynn's squad descended to the planet's surface. Buildings crumbled around them, but they moved with unyielding purpose. Nanotech kits worked on injured Cernari civilians, while engineers set explosives to safely neutralize weapon caches. Every step was a balance between precision and urgency. Humanity didn't just intervene, they orchestrated salvation with surgical accuracy. A rogue energy spike threatened the fleet's forward stations. Kael's hand hovered over the override console. "Engage containment. I want no casualties." Engineers worked at impossible speeds, rerouting power through emergency conduits as plasma arcs danced around them. The fleet held unbroken as humans confronted the system's instability with intellect and bravery. Rynn's team faced their first true loss. A Cernari child succumbed to residual infection despite nanotech treatments. Rynn clenched her fists, anger and grief burning in her chest. "We fight so others can live," she whispered. Above, Kael's log captured the weight of the moment. Sacrifice is inevitable. Humanity endures anyway. The galaxy's fate balanced on human resolve, and every heart aboard the fleet beat with that certainty. The fleet approached a derelict Cernari research station drifting in dark orbit. Kael's fingers danced over the console. Scan every subsystem. Identify anomalous code. Hidden within the station's mainframe, a ghost algorithm pulsed, a remnant of the creator's intelligence. Every human mind aboard the fleet leaned in, decoding sequences that had killed countless civilizations. Humanity had learned to confront invisible threats. Rynn's squad entered the station through a damaged docking bay. Holographic readouts flickered with fragments of data, projected schematics, weapon blueprints, and warnings left unfinished. "They left breadcrumbs," Rynn said. Medics and engineers worked side by side, neutralizing bioweapon residues while decrypting the creator's unfinished plans. Humans were not only surviving, they were rewriting the rules of engagement. Sensors flared as an unstable star threatened to erupt near the fleet's coordinates. Kael's voice resonated over the bridge. "Divert power to shields and propulsion. No hesitation." Shields flared and the fleet weaved through debris with perfect synchronization. Every human aboard knew the stakes. Failure meant annihilation, but retreat was not an option. Rynn's team scrambled to stabilize a planetary research hub beneath the star. Energy conduits arced dangerously, yet engineers rerouted power while medics treated civilians caught in collapsing infrastructure. Humanity's response was surgical, precise, and unyielding. Every life saved was a statement. The galaxy would not fall while humans still breathed. A sudden communication blackout fractured fleet coordination. Kael clenched his jaw. Autonomy protocols activated. Every unit follows pre-programmed contingency. Pilots adjusted vectors, shields flared, and automated turrets synchronized attacks without hesitation. Even in isolation, the fleet moved as one organism, human minds guiding machines through chaos. Rynn's squad received fragmented transmissions from distant colonies. "We're being watched," a Cernari engineer warned, fear in her voice. Yet Rynn remained steady, deploying nanotech shields and emergency medical units. Humans thrived under pressure, adapting faster than any algorithm, turning confusion into strategy. Sensors detected faint energy traces on the edge of a nebula, cloaked vessels moving with precision. Kael's hand hovered over the tactical display. "They've been tracking us. Prepare for engagement." Shields ignited, and the fleet formed a defensive perimeter. Every pilot moved with a lethal intent, every system primed for sudden chaos. Humanity had become a force that creators feared to confront. Rynn's squad moved through an abandoned research facility, uncovering evidence of the creators' experiments. Holographic logs revealed experiments designed to manipulate life itself. "This is worse than we imagined," Rynn said. Medics recalibrated nanotech treatments, engineers neutralized traps, and humans pressed forward. Every step uncovered more mystery, but humanity refused to hesitate. The fleet engaged a hidden armada emerging from the nebula. Plasma volleys lit the void, missiles streaked like comets, and shields flared under relentless assault. Kyle's voice cut through the chaos. "Execute Firestorm Protocol. No one falls behind." Pilots weaved through enemy formations with deadly precision, every maneuver calculated to minimize loss and maximize impact. Rynn's squad infiltrated a control hub on a nearby planet. Automated defenses erupted, but their tactics outmatched every obstacle. Cernari survivors followed, fear mingled with awe. Humanity did not just fight battles. They orchestrated entire theaters of war, blending strategy, courage, and technology into unstoppable force. The galaxy was waking to a simple truth: humans were unlike any other. Scanners picked up dozens of cloaked warships emerging from a dark sector. Kael's eyes narrowed. They've been waiting, hidden in plain sight. Human pilots adjusted vectors instantly, weaving through asteroid belts as plasma arcs cut across space. Every maneuver was a calculation, every decision a gamble with millions of lives at stake. Rynn's ground team tracked energy signatures leading to a hidden bioweapon factory. Automated defenses fired, but human ingenuity neutralized them with precise nanotech pulses. Civilians were evacuated as engineers set containment charges. Humanity moved like a single organism, calculated and unstoppable. Even when the enemy believed the humans were outnumbered, the fleet entered a nebula thick with ion storms. Sensors flickered, shielding readouts spiked, and Kael's voice cut through the comms. "All units, autonomous navigation, stay in formation." Ships carved paths through lightning arcs. Every maneuver was both survival and strategy. Humanity adapted faster than any storm, turning chaos into a tactical advantage. Rynn's squad penetrated a cloaked observatory buried beneath the nebula. Holographic projections revealed creator experiments spanning centuries. "They've been influencing systems we thought were natural," Rynn said grimly. Medics worked on civilians exposed to residual toxins. Humans did not hesitate. Knowledge was as powerful a weapon as any plasma cannon. Kael's holographic map lit up with hidden jump points, shortcuts the creators had left to ambush the fleet. "They underestimated us," he muttered. Pilots maneuvered with surgical precision, weaving through deadly choke points. Every shield flare, every evasive loop was a silent message. Humans do not falter under pressure. Rynn's squad discovered a databank containing a grim revelation. The creators had weaponized not only the bioweapon but entire planetary populations. Cernari survivors recoiled in horror, but Rynn's voice steadied them. "We fight, we save. That is our purpose." Humanity's resolve hardened. The galaxy's future rested on human determination. The fleet surged toward a system on the brink of collapse. Plasma storms lashed the hulls. Kael's command was calm but decisive. "Deploy shield lattices. Prioritize evacuation." Pilots wove through destructive energy arcs, human intuition guiding them past paths no algorithm could calculate. Lives depended on every decision, and humanity refused to fail. Rynn's squad coordinated the evacuation of civilians trapped in shattered cities. Nanotech injections healed injuries while engineers stabilized failing infrastructure. Every act was precise, every calculation critical. Humans didn't just intervene. They orchestrated salvation in a galaxy long abandoned. The edge of collapse became a stage for human heroism. The fleet prepared a preemptive strike against the Creator's hidden armada. Kael's tactical display showed hundreds of enemy vessels, yet he remained unshaken. Fire only on confirmed threats. Protect civilians at all costs. Human pilots executed maneuvers with deadly elegance, plasma arcs and missiles weaving a deadly tapestry across space. Rynn's squad breached an orbital weapons platform, neutralizing automated turrets and decrypting security arrays. Cernari civilians followed cautiously, hope mingling with fear. Humanity was not just engaging in war. They were rewriting the battlefield itself, turning superior numbers and technology into instruments of precise salvation. The galaxy's tide was turning, and humans were the storm. The fleet entered a system torn by orbital bombardments. Kael's tactical display showed civilian colonies intertwined with hidden weapon caches. "We proceed carefully. Every life matters," he commanded. Pilots executed precision maneuvers, plasma flares lighting the void like lightning storms. Humanity's approach was both ruthless and humane, balancing destruction and salvation in perfect synchronization. Rynn's team discovered survivors huddled in collapsed bunkers. Medics administered nanotech treatments while engineers stabilized failing infrastructure. "They thought no one would come," Rynn said, adjusting a containment field. Humans were rewriting the calculus of fear. Every life saved was a challenge to the Creator's centuries-long designs. A hidden transmission pulsed through Kael's communications grid. The Creator's voice, cold, calculated, and centuries old, spoke of control, dominance, and expectation of human failure. Kael leaned forward. "They still believe we are predictable." The fleet adjusted vectors, preparing for countermeasures that had never been attempted. Humanity's unpredictability was the ultimate weapon. Rynn's squad decrypted ancient Creator schematics, revealing bioweapon propagation methods. "They wanted total collapse," Rynn said grimly. Medics prepped cures for residual infections, while engineers modified containment units. Every revelation hardened their resolve. Humans did not just survive, they adapted, innovated, and countered. The fleet approached a concealed jump point. Kael's fingers traced the coordinates. "The Creators have a central node, likely command and bioweapon control. We hit it. We disrupt everything." Shields flared as the fleet weaved through debris, guided by human intuition and relentless calculations. Every second brought them closer to the heart of the enemy's power. Rynn's squad infiltrated a heavily fortified station. Automated defenses surged to life, but humans adapted. Nanotech pulses neutralized weapons while medics stabilized civilians trapped in toxic zones. Every corridor cleared revealed more of the Creator's intent, a galaxy meticulously manipulated and poised for collapse. Humanity refused to allow it. Plasma fire streaked across the void as the fleet engaged the Creator's central armada. Shields flared, and missiles carved precise paths through enemy formations. Kael's voice cut through comms. "Focus fire on command vessels. Neutralize infrastructure, minimize civilian risk." Pilots executed maneuvers with deadly precision, combining strategy, instinct, and raw human ingenuity. Rynn's squad breached the orbital nexus, confronting automated guardians and encrypted control nodes. Holographic schematics revealed the Creator's ultimate plan: simultaneous bioweapon deployment across multiple systems. Medics treated survivors as engineers hacked security arrays. Humanity's intervention was surgical, decisive, and unstoppable. The fleet's sensors detected a hidden construct, an artificial world housing the Creator's bioweapon production. Kael's eyes narrowed. "This is the source. We neutralize it, or the galaxy falls. Human pilots coordinated like a living organism, weaving through defensive fire, deploying targeted strikes, and shielding vulnerable sectors. Every maneuver was both offensive and protective. Rynn's squad entered the artificial world, navigating corridors of alien technology. Holographic logs flickered, revealing shocking truths. The creators had seeded multiple galaxies with bioweapon networks, expecting the collapse of civilizations. Rynn's voice echoed in comms. "This goes far beyond the Cernari. We're the galaxy's only chance." Humanity's purpose was no longer survival. It was universal salvation. The fleet entered an uncharted system, sensors picking up false signatures meant to mislead. Kael studied the readouts. They've cloaked entire fleets in false energy readings. Expect traps. Pilots adjusted trajectories, shields flaring against hidden mines and plasma ambushes. Every maneuver was a test of human intuition against centuries-old deception. Rynn's squad moved through a decoy facility, discovering holographic simulations designed to mislead intruders. Medics treated survivors caught in delayed bioweapon exposure. "They underestimate human adaptability," Rynn murmured, recalibrating nanotech injectors. Every obstacle became an opportunity, every deception a puzzle to solve. Kael's tactical map flickered with cascading energy failures across multiple systems. "The creators are destabilizing colonies remotely," he said. The fleet weaved through energy surges and collapsing orbital platforms. Human pilots executed maneuvers impossible for AI alone, each decision saving lives in real time. Rynn's squad worked to stabilize a planetary energy grid, rerouting failing conduits while automated defenses attempted to neutralize them. Engineers and medics collaborated seamlessly. Humanity didn't just confront crises. They transformed chaos into coordinated salvation. The fleet closed on the creator's primary nexus. Kael's holographic map revealed layered defenses, cloaked turrets, automated interceptors, and orbital mines. "Breach protocols active, no hesitation," he commanded. Human pilots weaved a deadly path through the gauntlet, plasma streams lighting the void with lethal precision. Rynn's squad infiltrated the Nexus interior. Holographic archives revealed the creator's timeline, bioweapon deployment, planetary manipulation, and preemptive strikes across the galaxy. Medics treated survivors trapped in toxic chambers while engineers dismantled containment systems. Humanity wasn't just fighting. They were rewriting the galaxy's fate. The fleet unleashed coordinated strikes on command hubs, shields flaring as enemy fire collided with plasma volleys. Kael's voice resonated through comms. "Minimize casualties. Prioritize critical infrastructure." Pilots adjusted in real time, weaving through debris, energy arcs, and enemy formations with deadly elegance. Every strike was calculated, every decision life-saving. Rynn's squad neutralized automated defenses while decrypting the Nexus's control cores. Cernari survivors followed cautiously, their trust in humanity unshakable. Medics administered nanotech treatments, turning near-death into recovery. Humanity's strategy combined intellect, courage, and technology, transforming impossible odds into victories. A sudden energy surge erupted from the Nexus. Systems aboard the fleet flickered as hidden traps activated. Kael's eyes narrowed. "They've anticipated our moves. Partial betrayal within the creator's ranks." The fleet adjusted, evading traps while maintaining formation. Human ingenuity turned near disaster into tactical advantage. Rynn's squad confronted a Cernari faction corrupted by the creator's influence. Negotiations failed. Nanotech injectors and defensive maneuvers neutralized threats without unnecessary casualties. Humanity's moral compass guided action, even in betrayal. The galaxy was chaotic, but the humans endured, solving crises with brains, courage, and precision. The fleet faced the creator's main armada in open space. Plasma streaked across the void, shields flaring against cascading energy volleys. Kael's voice cut through the chaos. Target command ships first, protect civilian sectors. Human pilots executed maneuvers impossible for AI, threading through enemy formations with surgical precision. Rynn's squad coordinated orbital strikes on weapon platforms while guiding surviving Cernari civilians to safety pods. Nanotech injections stabilized injuries, while engineers disrupted containment systems. Every human action was synchronized, transforming overwhelming odds into calculated victories. Humanity didn't just fight, they redefined the battlefield. Sensors flared with anomalous signals. Kael's eyes narrowed. Someone within the Creator's ranks is feeding us information, but not all of it. As reconnaissance drones traced cloaked transmissions, pilots adjusted positions, anticipating ambushes hidden in false intelligence. Humans were learning the enemy's tactics faster than the enemy could anticipate. Rynn's squad discovered a concealed laboratory where rogue Cernari had been manipulating bioweapons independently. Medics contained contamination while engineers disabled automated defenses. They thought chaos would stop us, Rynn said. Humanity thrived in disorder, turning betrayal into opportunity. The fleet approached the system housing the central creator nexus. Tactical displays flared with enemy clusters. Kael issued precise orders. Divide forces, strike simultaneously, no hesitation. Human pilots danced through plasma fire, weaving destructive arcs while protecting civilians caught in orbital debris. Rynn's squad infiltrated the Nexus interior. Holographic projections revealed the Creator's ultimate plan: galaxy-wide bioweapon deployment in multiple hidden networks. Engineers worked feverishly to disrupt control arrays, while medics stabilized civilians and Cernari allies. Humanity was no longer reacting. They were dictating the battle. The fleet's shields strained against concentrated enemy fire. Kael's log entry echoed through the bridge. Sacrifice is inevitable. Human resolve is limitless. Pilots executed maneuvers threading between energy arcs, debris, and cascading explosions. Every second saved lives, every decision defined survival. Rynn's squad faced collapsing corridors within the Nexus. One engineer remained behind to manually reroute energy conduits, giving civilians precious seconds to evacuate. "Do it," Rynn whispered, understanding the cost. Humanity's courage was measured not by victories, but by the willingness to stand in the path of death for others. Sensors detected an immense structure hidden within a binary star system, the true Creator's origin. Kael's eyes widened. This isn't just a fleet or weapon, it's a civilization of architects, controlling multiple galaxies. The fleet altered course, every calculation focused on one goal: survival and prevention of universal collapse. Rynn's squad accessed ancient archives, uncovering the Creator's long-term manipulation, bioweapon seeding, planetary collapse, and engineered wars. "They've been shaping life itself," she whispered. Medics and engineers prepared for unprecedented challenges. Humanity was no longer a single fleet. It had become the galaxy's unpredictable force of salvation, the only line against the architect's grand design. The fleet approached the Creator's hidden stronghold. Sensors detected energy surges unlike anything before. Kael's voice was steady, but the weight of the moment hung in the bridge air. "This is them, the architects themselves." Pilots adjusted trajectories, shields flaring, plasma weapons charged. Every maneuver was both preemptive and defensive. Humanity faced not just a fleet, but a civilization. Rynn's squad infiltrated a nearby satellite station, uncovering holographic archives depicting galaxy-wide manipulations. Medics treated surviving Cernari engineers exposed to temporal bioweapon fields. "They've orchestrated wars for centuries," Rynn murmured. Humanity's challenge was no longer a single battle. It was survival against a calculated intelligence spanning galaxies. Kael ordered a coordinated assault on the Creator command nodes. Simultaneous strikes, protect civilians, maximize disruption. Pilots executed maneuvers that bent conventional physics, dodging concentrated plasma fire while deploying precision missile salvos. Humanity had become the unexpected variable that creators could not predict. Rynn's squad breached control hubs on orbital stations. Nanotech treatments healed civilians while engineers hacked core systems, neutralizing bioweapon propagation. Holographic logs revealed the architect's contingency plans, centuries of foresight now collapsing under human ingenuity. The galaxy's tide had begun to turn. Unexpected energy flares erupted within the fleet, signals of sabotage. Kael's eyes narrowed. A creator sympathizer embedded within Cernari systems. Ships altered vectors, evading internal disruptions. Human pilots recalibrated shields in real time, transforming potential disaster into tactical advantage. Rynn's squad discovered the traitor, a Cernari commander corrupted by the creator's influence. Negotiations failed. Tactical nanotech and coordinated strikes neutralized the threat without unnecessary civilian casualties. Humanity's strength was not in numbers. It was in adaptability, courage, and precision. The fleet pierced the binary star system harboring the architect's nexus. Sensors revealed a staggering array of defenses: cloaked warships, energy fortresses, and orbital mines. Kael's voice was calm but resolute. We breach, we disable, we survive. Pilots executed maneuvers that danced between plasma fire, collapsing debris, and energy spikes, threading destruction with protection. Rynn's squad infiltrated the Nexus corridors, encountering automated guardians and lethal traps. Medics stabilized civilians exposed to residual bioweapon traces, while engineers dismantled control arrays. Every step brought humanity closer to understanding the full scope of the architect's manipulations. Every action reshaped the galaxy's destiny. The fleet coordinated a final preemptive strike on the architect's command core. Kael's fingers traced tactical vectors with lethal precision. Every ship, every pilot, every system, synchronize. Plasma fire lit the void like lightning storms, shields flaring, missiles streaking with deadly intent. Humanity was no longer reacting. It dictated the flow of war. Rynn's squad reached the core chamber, confronting holographic projections of the architects themselves. Engineers hacked containment systems while medics ensured civilian survival. "This is it," Rynn whispered. Humanity stood on the precipice, not as pawns, not as victims, but as the galaxy's unpredictable force of salvation. The architect's reign of calculated chaos was about to face its first truly uncontrollable variable: humans. The fleet closed on the architect's central nexus. Energy flares erupted from defensive turrets, plasma fire streaked through the void, and debris floated like lethal stars. Kael's voice resonated over comms. "Breach points Delta through Theta. Protect civilians. Execute with precision." Every pilot moved as one, a symphony of human skill against ancient machinery. Rynn's squad advanced through labyrinthine corridors inside the Nexus. Holographic archives revealed plans for multiple bioweapon nodes across neighboring systems. Medics administered nanotech treatments to civilians trapped in collapsed corridors, while engineers neutralized automated defenses. Humanity's resolve was tested at every turn, and proved unbreakable. The Nexus pulsed violently as the architects activated defensive protocols. Under the strain of energy blasts, shields flared and absorbed plasma arcs, slicing through space. Kael's tactical command was sharp. Focus fire on energy conduits, maintain formation. Human pilots wove through chaos, each maneuver a precise counter to centuries of preparation. Rynn's squad faced autonomous guardians designed to annihilate intruders. Tactical nanotech pulses disabled weapons while engineers disrupted core programming. Medics treated civilians caught in residual energy surges. Humanity's courage and ingenuity turned the architect's wrath into opportunity, pushing forward where all others would have fallen. The fleet unleashed a synchronized strike on the Nexus's primary control hubs. Plasma missiles carved precise arcs through enemy formations. Shields flared against counterattacks, and Kael's voice remained calm. Every second counts. Protect life. Maximize impact. Human skill and strategy eclipsed centuries of calculated opposition. Rynn's squad reached the Nexus's core chamber. Holographic projections revealed the Architect's ultimate contingency: galaxy-wide bioweapon deployment. Engineers scrambled to override systems, and medics stabilized civilians exposed to temporal toxins. Humanity's presence in the Nexus wasn't just intervention, it was salvation in motion. A massive energy surge threatened the fleet's forward stations. Kael activated containment protocols. Autonomous shields online. Prepare for manual overrides. Pilots maneuvered through collapsing energy arcs, plasma fire, and debris. Every decision balanced survival and strategy. Humanity's courage was measured in precision, sacrifice, and timing. Rynn's squad faced collapsing corridors within the core chamber. One engineer remained behind to manually stabilize a conduit, giving civilians precious seconds to evacuate. "Do it," Rynn whispered. Humanity's triumph was forged through calculated risk, bravery, and selflessness. Every heartbeat mattered. Every life was fought for. The fleet emerged from the Nexus, battered but unbroken. Sensors confirmed the Architect's core was destabilized, hidden bioweapon nodes neutralized. Kael's voice carried both relief and determination. The galaxy remembers humans not as conquerors, but as guardians. Pilots adjusted formation, shields flaring, as humanity's presence reshaped cosmic balance. Rynn's squad escorted surviving civilians through the remnants of the Nexus. Medics and engineers worked tirelessly, stabilizing populations while assessing structural collapses. Humanity's legacy was etched across the stars. Not angels, not myths, but living, breathing humans who arrived where no one else dared. The galaxy had learned a new truth. When others flee, humans fight. And when others despair, humans endure. The fleet pursued fleeing creator vessels into uncharted sectors. Sensors detected hidden energy pulses, traces of bioweapon dispersal. Kael's voice cut through the bridge. Track all signatures. No anomaly is ignored. Pilots weaved through debris, plasma arcs painting the void with lethal precision. Humanity was relentless. Rynn's squad stabilized colonists caught in hidden contamination zones. Engineers neutralized residual bioweapon cores while medics administered targeted nanotech cures. Holographic logs revealed that fragments of the Architect's plans had spread across multiple systems. Humanity's mission had become not just survival, but a race to preserve civilizations before the Architect's influence could re-emerge. Kael's fleet approached the final known creator stronghold. Shields flared against automated orbital defenses. Plasma fire carved arcs through the void. All units, coordinate strikes on central nodes. Protect civilian zones, Kael commanded. Pilots moved with perfect synchrony, blending human instinct with tactical calculation. Rynn's squad breached the core chamber. Holographic projections revealed multiple hidden bioweapon networks prepared to deploy in cascading sequences. Engineers worked feverishly to disrupt activation sequences, while medics stabilized affected civilians. Humanity's intervention was precise, surgical, and essential, the last barrier between the galaxy and collapse. The final stronghold responded with overwhelming force. Energy cannons fired in unrelenting volleys. Kael's voice was calm, resolute. Divide firepower, maintain formation, protect all life. Human pilots threaded through concentrated plasma arcs, intercepting missiles and shielding vulnerable sectors. Every action was both an attack and a defense. Rynn's squad confronted automated guardians with lethal programming. Tactical nanotech pulses disabled weapons while engineers hacked control arrays. Civilians were evacuated, and nanotech stabilized injuries inflicted by residual energy discharges. Humanity's courage and ingenuity countered centuries of calculated oppression. The architects had underestimated unpredictability and paid for it. An energy surge threatened the fleet's forward stations. Kael activated manual containment protocols. Prepare for autonomous overrides if necessary. Pilots maneuvered through collapsing energy arcs, plasma fire, and debris. Every second counted, every decision balanced survival and salvation. Humanity's precision and courage turned catastrophe into opportunity. Rynn's squad faced collapsing corridors inside the core chamber. One engineer remained behind to stabilize a conduit manually, granting civilians and squad members precious seconds to evacuate. "Do it," Rynn whispered. Humanity's victory was forged through sacrifice, bravery, and calculated risk. Every heartbeat mattered, every life was fought for. The fleet emerged victorious from the architect's final nexus. Sensors confirmed the collapse of hidden bioweapon networks. Kael's voice echoed across the fleet. The galaxy now remembers humans, not as conquerors, but as saviors. Pilots adjusted formation, shields flaring, as humanity's presence reshaped cosmic balance. Rynn's squad escorted survivors to safe zones. Engineers dismantled the remaining traps while medics stabilized the injured. Holographic archives revealed the architect's century-long manipulations. Humanity had not only endured, they had rewritten fate. No angels had come to save the galaxy. Humans had. The human fleet was no longer a fleet. It was a symbol of hope, courage, and relentless perseverance. The fleet approached the last surviving architect flagship. Shields flared, plasma arcs sliced the void, and Kael's tactical display lit up with enemy vectors. All units converge. Focus fire on command nodes. Protect civilians. Pilots wove through concentrated energy fire with lethal precision, turning the architect's final offensive into an opportunity for decisive counterattack. Rynn's squad infiltrated the flagship, navigating corridors lined with automated defenses. Engineers dismantled containment systems while medics stabilized civilians trapped by residual bioweapon fields. Every step was a battle of wits and courage. Humanity was no longer merely surviving. It was rewriting the galaxy's fate, one corridor at a time. Energy surges rippled across the flagship as human strikes dismantled core nodes. Kael's voice resonated over comms. Command, hubs neutralized. Maintain pressure. Pilots executed coordinated maneuvers, plasma volleys striking with surgical precision, shields flaring in response to concentrated counterattacks. The architect's centuries of preparation unraveled before human ingenuity. Rynn's squad reached the central chamber. Holographic archives revealed the architect's plans for total galactic control. Engineers worked frantically to shut down remaining bioweapon networks while medics treated civilians exposed to toxic energy. Humanity's resolve was absolute. The architect's calculated dominance collapsed under unpredictable, relentless human strategy. A massive energy core threatened to destabilize, imperiling the flagship and surrounding fleets. Kael's voice was calm but firm. Manual containment required. Volunteers? Engineers stepped forward. They rerouted power and stabilized the core with nanotech-enhanced procedures. Every second counted. Every decision could cost lives. Rynn's squad assisted in evacuating civilians while engineers remained behind, holding critical conduits. Explosions lit the corridors, shields flaring under collapsing systems. Humanity's victories had always demanded sacrifice, and once again, courage and selflessness preserved life across the galaxy. The flagship crumbled, leaving the human fleet triumphant in the void. Kael's voice echoed across the bridge. The architects are no more. Systems are stable. Humanity has prevailed. Pilots adjusted formation, scanning survivors and recovering fleets. their precise maneuvers ensuring no civilian or ally was lost. Rynn's squad escorted Sirnari civilians to orbital safe zones. Engineers dismantled residual traps while medics stabilized injuries. The galaxy, once abandoned, now bore witness to the unpredictable force of humans. No angelic saviors had arrived. Humanity itself had stood, endured, and rewritten destiny. The fleet charted a course home, stars streaming past the hull like a river of light. Kael recorded the final log. We did not come as angels. We came as humans. We fought, we healed, we endured. The galaxy remembers, and we will remain vigilant. Humanity had not only survived, it had become a symbol of hope. Rynn stood on the observation deck, watching liberated systems bloom with life. Sirnari children played in repaired cities, survivors rebuilt, and allies forged new bonds. Humanity's legacy was not myth or legend. It was living proof that courage, ingenuity, and sacrifice could reshape a galaxy. The human fleet had arrived where no one else dared, and it had left a mark that would never fade. The end. Thank you for watching AstroMyths. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button and subscribe for more epic sci-fi tales, cosmic mysteries, and mind-bending myths. And if you like this story, or have a myth, mystery, or galaxy you'd like us to explore, drop your ideas in the comments. We're always listening. Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars and your mind open to the unknown.